Every time the Board Game Barbecue podcast hosts a game day, I am keen. I'm getting my ticket straight away. The most recent one, we both went.
Most recent Melbourne one.
Most recent Melbourne, we both went, and we were able to enjoy the day. We didn't have to film because we covered their game days in the past. So sometimes it's nice just to experience it, being able to play a lot of games, and that's what we did. So some of the games we played together, some of the games we played apart. What did you start the day with?
I started with a game called Toledo. I basically went in blind. I judged a book by its cover and went in blind and had a wonderful time. It was actually a really good game. Mild spoiler, it might have been my favorite game of the day, which was a very good day. But yeah, it's a sort of action economy, point chasey game set in like the Renaissance Italy, with a really cool mechanic where, like, to put it simply, the quality of your actions, the higher the quality of their actions, the less actual actions you have. So you sort of have to balance whether you want to do a lot of the thing that you really want or a little of the thing that you sort of want more. Not a great explanation, but an excellent game. I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm keen to play it again.
So yeah, it's part of the T series, which is like a long-running series of games also with T that are all very hard to pronounce. While you were playing that, I played, rather than a brand new game, I played a sort of older classic game, long out of print, called Glory to Rome. I think the two creators have long been at each other's throats and will never come back in copyright. Someone made a copy of it and was showcasing it off. And it is one of those, it's a sort of a card game where all cards are sort of multi-use, and there's sort of a lots of sort of, okay, there's a real cost to doing everything, and you can't do everything, and it was like, that was a really cool experience. Then we both joined together for a teach, which was Sidero Confluence, which is a trading, resource conversion, resource management game. Chinatown plus.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. Chinatown is probably one of the early games that we both started playing. It was definitely one of the first like 3 games in my collection. And we've enjoyed playing Chinatown a fair bit. And this was just on a whole other level. Imagine Chinatown, but plus like the scale and complexity of a much bigger game.
There's a lot, like 7 different types of resources, plus you're running resource conversion engines, some of which you unlock because of other people. You've got unique races which have different sort of abilities and powers. The idea is, you're trading in the universe, and no one race can get everything. You're sort of reliant on other people because your race might be really good at converting these sort of resources where my race does something else. So that sort of balance of power, so to speak, was a really sort of interesting experience.
And apart from some quite quick like production and auction phases, they all played in like real-time trading. Just absolutely going for it. Everyone at once. I think we had 5, 6 players, five at the table. Yeah, like 5-way trading, all happy at once, just completely frantic. It was it was an experience. Like if I even had anything negative to say about it, it'd be that for me, I found that almost too confronting how hectic that was doing that in real time compared to a game where you have time to stop and really consider every single action. But that's the game. That's apart from what making it a little confronting, and that's what makes the game really, really good.
No, I enjoy that. You sort of have to just get in the moment of like, okay, I'm going to try and trade the best. Sometimes I'm not trading like optimally, but I'm like, oh, I want that resource, I'll pay more for it. Or I know that person really wants it. I can then I'll put the screws in and I'll get a good deal. So that was a really fun game. Then we moved on to the next game. Was Beyond the Sun, which is sort of a reasonably new game where it is. So there's almost 2 parts. There's like tech trees where you're researching and sort of developing and moving up tracks, tech tracks, and then you've also got exploration sort of element as well. How did you find it?
It didn't leave as big an impression on me as the game's reputation would imply. Like I enjoyed it. I found the tech tree elements quite fun. I found the space combat elements quite fun, and I also found how they integrated quite good as well. Like I quite specifically looked at the space combat section. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to worry about tech tree. But I found as I was progressing through the tech tree, it was pushing me into the space thing, and I was saying, oh, I've actually got a window here to make a move in space combat, even though I wasn't planning to. So I really liked how that worked. That sort of naturally pushed me into all the mechanics of the game. But the overall impression for me, like when I walked away from it, wasn't quite as strong as some other games I played.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I feel like it's been sometimes just with the game that's probably faded a little bit in my mind. Because I don't think it was. It didn't blow me away, but I think it was a very just like solid game. That'd be like, okay, I'd be happily have this in my collection, but I didn't feel the need to chase it.
Yeah, see, I'm not chasing to put it in my collection, but I would happily play it again.
So then after that, we split off again. You played a game that you're very familiar with.
Yeah, Dune Imperium, as demonstrated here. No, I knew it was going to be the last game of the game day for me. And like most of our game days at home, I just wanted to play Dune Imperium. I don't want to harp lyrical about this game too much because we do a lot, and I do like it. And I just had the itch, so I got a copy off the shelf. Found a lovely pair of people who were happy to play it. Later learned that they're actually quite prominent game designers, at least one of them was. And yeah, just had a lovely nightcap of with an excellent game.
For me, it was learning a brand new game, which is also a deck builder, and like Dune Imperium, a deck builder / something else, which was Undaunted Normandy, which is deck building and a war game. And I've since bought the game because I enjoyed it quite a lot. Being able to combine deck building and a skirmish war game as your World War II, trying to move your troops to capture objectives based on what cards you have in your deck that appear. Absolutely fantastic. I was lucky enough to be shown the game by somebody, and that was a really great way to end the game and the game day to sort of learn a new game that I really, really enjoyed. Yeah, and that was the Board Game Barbecue's latest Melbourne event.
Yeah, look forward to the next one.